Let me ask you something that might make you a little uncomfortable. Right now, as you are watching this video, your XRP is sitting in a wallet somewhere doing absolutely nothing. It is not growing. It is not compounding. It is not working. It is just sitting there, completely idle, while the price moves up and down and you watch it like a hawk, hoping and waiting and refreshing your portfolio app every few hours, wondering when the big move is finally going to come. And here is the part nobody is saying out loud. While you're waiting, the people who actually understand what is happening behind the scenes, the insiders, the institutional players, the people who have been quietly building for years, they are not waiting. They are earning, right now, today. On the exact same asset you are holding, I'm not here to sell you something. I am not here to hype you up with numbers that disappear in 3 months. I am here to show you something that is already live, already working, and already generating real yield for XRP holders who took the time to understand it. And by the end of this video, you will have everything you need to make your own informed decision about whether you want your XRP to keep sitting idle or whether you want it to finally start working for you. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you changes everything about how you think about this asset. Here's a number that should bother you deeply, only 0.1%. That is the percentage of the entire XRP supply currently being used in decentralized finance. Out of every 1,000 XRP tokens in existence, only one is actually deployed and working in any yield-generating capacity. The other 999 are sitting exactly where yours is right now, in wallets, on exchanges, completely unproductive. XRP is the 5th largest cryptocurrency in the world by market capitalization. It has survived a brutal 3-year legal battle with the SEC. It has attracted institutional interest from some of the biggest financial names on the planet. And yet 99.9% of it is doing nothing. That is not a sign of a failed asset. That is a sign of an asset holding enormous untapped potential, waiting for the infrastructure to catch up with the opportunity. And here is what should get your attention right now in February 2026. That infrastructure just arrived. In December 2025, a product called Earn XRP launched on the Flare network, built by Upshift Finance, Clearstar, and Flare Network together. For the first time in XRP's history, holders could deposit their tokens into a single vault and earn yield that compounds back entirely in XRP. Not in stablecoins, not in some third-party token. In XRP, your yield comes back as more XRP automatically, without you actively managing anything. Within weeks of launch, the Flare network crossed 100 million FXRP minted, approximately $150 million worth of XRP now actively earning yield instead of sitting idle. 89% of that supply is locked across Flare's DeFi platforms, meaning the people who move their XRP there are not just testing the waters, they are fully committed. Then, in February 2026, Flare integrated with Morpho, one of the most respected lending protocols in the entire DeFi space. This means FXRP holders can now lend their tokens to earn interest or use them as collateral to borrow stablecoins, all while maintaining full XRP price exposure. And Flare's CEO, Hugo Fillion, said publicly that they are targeting 5 billion XRP on their network by mid-2026. His exact words were, "I know the parties we are talking to." That is not a vague promise. That is someone who has already had the conversations. While everyone has been watching XRP's price performance, something extraordinary has been happening at the institutional level that almost nobody is connecting to the yield story. In February 2026 alone, 3 major European financial institutions, with a combined $3.4 trillion in total assets, adopted Ripple's infrastructure. Deutsche Bank integrated Ripple's blockchain technology across cross-border payments and digital asset custody. Societe Generale, Aviva Investors, all in a single month. One analyst described February 2026 as the strongest month of institutional validation Ripple has ever had in its entire history. If $3.4 trillion in institutional assets just moved onto Ripple's infrastructure, and the Clarity Act that would classify XRP as a digital commodity has an 80% chance of passing by April, according to Brad Garlinghouse himself. With BNY Mellon already custodying RLUSD and Fidelity, Citi, and Franklin Templeton all actively leaning in, what do you think happens to XRP yield demand when institutions need to do something productive with the XRP on their balance sheets? The passive holding era for XRP is not just ending, it is already over for the people who are paying attention. Think about it this way. You have a house. The house has value. But if you just live in it and never rent it out, never do anything productive with it beyond storing value, it is not working for you as an investment. The moment you rent it out, the house does 2 things simultaneously. It maintains its underlying value while generating cash flow. Your XRP has always been the empty house. Valuable, yes, but unproductive. What Flare has built is the rental infrastructure. Everything you need to turn that idle asset into something that generates income while you still own it completely. You convert your XRP 1-to-1 into FXRP on the Flare network. Your original XRP never leaves the XRP ledger. It stays locked in smart contracts that nobody controls. You receive FXRP at an exact 1-to-1 ratio. If XRP goes up, your FXRP goes up identically. Then you deposit into the Earn XRP vault, which automatically spreads your capital across multiple strategies simultaneously. Carry trades, liquid staking through Firelight Protocol, concentrated liquidity provision, and lending through Morpho. All returns compound back into XRP automatically. One deposit. The vault handles everything. If you're holding $10,000 worth of XRP right now and moved half into Earn XRP, current yields running above 13% on Flare staking mean that $5,000 generates meaningful XRP-denominated income compounding back into your position every single day. Ripple President Monica Long stood at XRP Community Day and said, 2026 is institutional adoption at scale with full impact visible by December 31st. XRP ETFs have already recorded $1.23 billion in cumulative net inflows since their November launch. Every token you earn through yield becomes worth more if the price moves in the direction every institutional signal is currently pointing. That is the difference between a passive holder and an active participant. One person watches the price, the other person earns the price. Your skepticism has earned wisdom, and it deserves a direct, honest answer. Your original XRP never leaves the XRP ledger. The facet system locks it in smart contracts secured by collateral always worth more than the FXRP issued against it. The system is over-collateralized by design. If something goes wrong, collateral automatically liquidates and returns value to users. No CEO can run with your money because mathematically and technically they cannot. Firelight Protocol has been audited by OpenZeppelin and CoinSpect, two of the most respected security firms in the blockchain space, and runs an active bug bounty through Immunity. This is a project that invited the most rigorous scrutiny possible and paid people to find problems. Flare has 5 years of patient development behind it. Ripple invested directly because Brad Garlinghouse said it combines the best of XRP's speed with Ethereum's smart contract capability. None of this makes the risk zero. Smart contracts can have vulnerabilities and markets can change. But the specific risks here are categorically different from trusting anonymous developers with unverifiable track records. Everyone is focused on the price chart while the infrastructure driving the future price story is being assembled quietly in plain sight. Ripple has deployed over $550 million into XRP ledger ecosystem development. Their 2026 roadmap includes a fintech builder program, new governance structures, expansion to Oxford University, and a dedicated XRP Asia hub. The XLS 66 initiative would introduce a native lending framework directly on the XRP ledger so institutions can earn yield without ever leaving the ledger itself. The Clarity Act, formally classifying XRP as a digital commodity, would unlock U.S. bank participation at a scale current volumes cannot approximate. The yield infrastructure is live right now, the institutional adoption is happening right now, the regulatory clarity is weeks away, and 99.9% of XRP is still sitting idle. Start small, convert 10 or 15% of your position into FXRP. Deposit it into the Earn XRP vault. Watch it work for 30 days. See your first yield accumulate, get comfortable before scaling, and most importantly, change how you think about what it means to hold XRP. Holding is not a strategy. Holding is a starting position. The question is what you do from that position that determines your actual outcome. For years, the XRP community has believed this technology has a role in the future of global finance. The market has not yet fully priced in. That belief required extraordinary patience through regulatory battles, market downturns, and periods where the narrative seemed to work against every position you held. That patience may be approaching its reward, not through a single explosive price event, but through a quieter and more sustainable process. The steady construction of yield infrastructure, institutional adoption frameworks, and DeFi tools that transform XRP from a passive speculative asset into an active, productive instrument. The $150 million currently earning yield on Flare is not the destination. According to Hugo Fillion, it is the starting gun. Your XRP does not have to sit idle anymore. The infrastructure to make it work has arrived. The question is simply whether you are going to take the time to understand it. Hit the like button if this breakdown added value. Subscribe to stay updated as this story develops through 2026. And drop a comment. Are you already using Earn XRP or Flare staking, or are you still on the sidelines? Your experience matters to this conversation. Stay patient, stay informed, and let your XRP finally start working for you.